Hi, and welcome to What's the Buzz, the only show of its kind that spotlights the entertainment scene in Southern Maryland. I'm your host, James Lepore, and I'm coming to you from the Black Box Theater in Indian Head, Maryland. And I'm very happy to be here again for the second time to see The Tin Woman, an amazing play. Cried through the whole first time, had some technical difficulties, but did not mind coming back to chat with this cast some more. So first of all, Heather Bauer, the director of this masterpiece. What drew you to the play, or what drew this play to the Black Box Theater?
Drew me to the play was I went to go be a watch judge at another theater up the road and was able to see this play and was so touched by it. I felt like it had to be brought down here.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we should probably talk about the plot right away, and then we can meet the individual parts of the show. So, Heather, you want to do the plot as well?
Sure. The Tin Woman is about a woman whose name is Joy, who gets to be the heart recipient for a new heart that the Morgan family donated from their son after he had a car accident. So it's all about the journey of not only the recipient but the family as well.
Right. So as I call on each of you, please say your real true name and then your character name, and then we'll talk about your characters, starting with Sarah.
Yes, sir. I'm Sarah Srummett, and I play Joy in this production of Tin Woman.
Question is, why is the character of Joy not happy during this show?
I think it just comes from a state of unbalance. I think she had come to terms with the fact that she was going to die because she was having a failing heart, and then all of a sudden she gets a second chance. So I don't think it's necessarily that she's unhappy. It's more so that she is trying to figure out her way and is kind of confused about which direction to take.
Gotcha. And the heart actually came from Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean Michael Fraser.
Well, not in real life. Well, in terms of the story. You know.
I'm really a ghost. No, my name is Sean Michael Fraser, and I play Jack in the production of The Tin Woman.
And you are the donor of the heart.
Yes, I am. My heart is the heart that is given to Joy.
Now, actually, for most of the show, I don't think it's spoiling anything to say, the most of the show, you are deceased, but you are appearing here in spirit form. The thing that I was most blown away by your performance is the fact that Jack interacts differently with everybody on stage, and since you don't necessarily have you don't have conversations with everyone on stage, a lot of those interactions are just communicated through your facial expressions, gestures. This man made me cry repeatedly. So can you comment on that? How tough is that to develop a little different interaction with everybody?
It was really hard. It was really challenging. I will officially state that this is probably one of the hardest acting challenges that I've had. As actors, and I think the rest of my cast can agree with me, we're so used to having dialogue that helps motivate our characters. Dialogue tells us what our characters are thinking, what we actually feel, and to not have that, ability, to have no dialogue, it's very challenging. Throughout the process, through the rehearsals, through working with the scenes with all these fellow actors and with Heather, I actually ended up creating like my own little show in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my own little internal monologue that is motivating me in each scene, going from scene to scene, and that helps me navigate my character. And from there, it's where all the facial expressions come from.
Mm-hmm.
So having that internal monologue makes everything more real. It's not like I'm trying to be a mime or trying to present everything in a fake sort of manner, but having like a real base to it, having some roots into these emotions and into the facial expressions.
I think it should be a sequel to the show called Sean's Internal Monologue. And then you never really know what's going on there behind the scenes. Lynn, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lynn O'Mara, and I play Alice. I am Jack's mother.
Alice, it strikes me, Alice struggles with trying to preserve some kind of normalcy. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Comment on that?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, she's dealing with, family members who maybe don't accept what's happened, that we had to make a decision to give the heart to, to Joy, or somebody who's maybe going on and not feeling, really not letting the emotions really show how they're feeling. They're covering it up. So I try to be, I'm the mom.
Yeah, and it works. Robbie, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Robbie Jones. I'm the father of the heart donor, Jack.
And you are the character, not in real life, but I mean, the character's an angry guy. There's a lot of anger there, right?
I'm very angry for a lot of different reasons.
And
My
also in the
character-
show. And
Hank is very angry for a lot of different reasons. There are a lot of unresolved issues. It's more than just he's angry that his son has died, but he really feels like things are unfair, and he doesn't know how to address or come to grips with that unfairness. When Joy comes in, I kind of see that she's struggling as well, and I interpret it as kind of an ungratefulness. And that really triggers a lot of the emotions that I have in myself. So a lot of my anger is directed towards, Joy, and what I feel is a lack of appropriate response to, the gift that we gave her.
I think the anger too is portrayed brilliantly because I sensed your anger and frustration with the situation. Then we have Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda Conley. I play Sammy in The Tin Woman.
And you're pretty much the complete opposite of the anger coming from I almost said TV dad. I mean, your boy dad. How do you view, now Joy comes to visit the family. So how do you see this visit? How do you find her as she walks through the front door?
Well, Sammy's character is very exuberant. She is very happy about everything. She wants to find the best in every situation that comes to her. And to her, she didn't lose Jack, but she's gaining someone else in her life. And you can tell even in the beginning that even though she's heartbroken by losing her brother, the fact that her brother could give such a gift to somebody else and that person come into their life, she is fully ready to accept any part of that situation that can help fill the void for her family. And she's a lot further along in the process than Hank and Alice is in the grieving process. And she is just wanting so hard to pull this family together, but also to make Joy feel like a part of this family, because to her she's a sister. Like automatically she has Jack's heart. She is the sister to Sammy, and Sammy wants nothing but for Joy to be happy and just to love her and to accept her.
Do you know that your performance was one of the key things in this that made me change my views about organ donation? Because through your character, I got to see the reality of a person continuing to live in the body of another person. And that was all because of you.
Thank you. Oh gosh.
Johnny.
Hi. My name is Johnny Jones.
And that's it. Thank you for watching. You play two
I play
characters.
two
in this, right?
characters. I play the nurse who is helping get Joy out of the hospital after she receives her heart.
Yeah, you're real sweet to her.
And I also play her best friend Darla later in Act 1. And in my internal story, Joy and Darla have been best friends for a very, very long time. They are always very comfortable around each other, and it's obvious because we bring a friendship into the show.
But you do get to a point where you're a little fed up with her at the same time, right?
It's not even fed up. I think it's more of Darla doesn't get it. Darla loves her and is like, you just got this second chance. Let's move on. Let's carry on. And she doesn't quite get that Joy does not feel like she is complete right now. Like there's something missing. She's trying to figure it all out. And Darla shows it in a little bit of insensitivity without even meaning to be insensitive. It isn't until later in Act 1 that Darla gets it.
Now, switching over to real life too, I mean, as a real life nurse, you were just telling me a few minutes ago that you've actually seen the actual process of
Yes.
organ donation. I have to hear about this.
I'm an organ donor, and you know, I come from an emergency room background, so I've been in the emergency room for 15 years. I'm with people in their last moments, I'm with the families when they're grieving, I'm with the doctors when they are telling the families that their loved one has died. But I've also been part of, our area has a group called the Washington Regional Transplant Consortium, and they do organ retrieval. So after a loved one dies, we contact them, give them information, they contact the family if the person is able to donate. I got to sit in on a tissue donation. When you hear tissue, you think, oh my gosh, they're taking their skin. That's not what it is. It's actually, they take long bones, they take the certain specific bones, and sometimes they'll retrieve eyes and things like
I
that.
know that.
And what really made me want to be an organ donor is seeing how much respect this group treats the deceased. They treat them with nothing but love and respect. They treat it as if it's their own loved ones. They make sure that they're still ready to present in an open casket. And it's just, to me, it was amazing to see that experience and how respectful they were to the dead.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that goes a long way towards people's decision whether or not to be.
Absolutely.
Again, while we're on real life, Lynn, there was last week's production was a benefit, was it not?
Last Saturday night, we had a benefit, and we were trying to raise money for two organizations. One is the University of Maryland Division of Heart Transplantation, and the other is a group called Enduring Hearts. And that was started by Kelsey, our stage manager, her brother, and she can tell you a story about that. But we did very well. It was wonderful. We had food and wine and beer and a great show, and it was wonderful. But we're still, I don't want to give out the complete total yet because we're still raising money. So
Right.
anyone who wants to come this weekend and give us a donation, it would go right to these organizations.
Well, Kelsey, then you're going to get a two-part question. Please introduce yourself, and I have two separate questions for you.
I'm Kelsey Gann, and I am the stage manager.
And she does a great job of it too. So while we're on the topics, you've got some real life experience with organ donation. Why don't you tell us that story?
Yes, my niece, Maya, when she was 15 months old, was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. And after the medicine failing to keep up with her diagnosis, they decided to put her on the heart transplant list. And when she went into the hospital when she was 3 years old, and we were told a 6-week wait, and she was in the hospital for 6 months before she got her heart. And she is now 9 years old. She's had her heart for a little over 5 years. She just passed the 5-year mark in October.
That's absolutely amazing. I love it. Also amazing is the way you stage manage this show. Now, as you can see, this is a 80-seat theater, right? And then we're sitting on a stage that's fairly small, and yet the action during the show is all over the place. Now, what kind of difficulties did you have in defining these little areas? And
Well, first off, this is my first time ever stage managing.
unbelievable. Now all of a sudden the calls are going to start coming in like,
Stage manager.
yeah.
Like, I've done sound for other shows, and like I'm used to having a headset, and stage manager tells me when to go. We don't have that here. I don't have any contact with the stage hands who are backstage, so I just kind of have to trust that they're doing the right thing. And it was really difficult because they came in Tech Week.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They came here Tech Week, and they had to learn all that in a week.
Well, the performance I saw, everything was just seamless, flawless. It was beautiful. Hats off to you. And I'm sure there's going to be many, many more. What's going to be next here at Black Box? For all of you, is anything planned for coming up next, or?
Well, there's some organizations, some theater companies lease the theater and do shows. So I think there are a couple of things coming up in the future. But this is actually the first production. The Tin Woman is the first production of the Black Box Players, our own theater company here. So we are planning to do a show for Christmas.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then hopefully next year we'll do 3 next year.
And that'll be on the Black Box website, right?
Absolutely.
Which the lovely Heather will certainly put up a slide with the website and the phone number of the Black Box Theater. This show is a little different in the fact that usually we film on, say, a Saturday, and it's edited on Sunday, and it goes live on Wednesday at 6 p.m. This is Friday, March 30th. It's going to be edited tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be live on Facebook. As you're watching this right now, it'll be Saturday morning. The reason this is significant is Saturday the 31st is the last day that you can see this. Heather, the show times for Saturday tomorrow are what?
3 o'clock and 8 p.m.
3 o'clock and 8 p.m. Again, look at the slide for the Black Box Theater. You get all the information, the website, and the phone number. Call, get tickets, come here. Believe me, you will not be sorry. I want to thank everybody here for not only being on this episode, but also giving this gift to the community that you all did. It's an amazing, amazing piece of theater. Blown away. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. In the meantime, I'd like to thank my producer, my lovely wife, Heather Lepore, and our creative consultant, Reggie Rice. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.